Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another movie review, this time for Peter Pan and Wendy, the new Disney live-action remake. This isn't even really a remake of Peter Pan, it's more just like another Peter Pan movie, and that's kind of the biggest problem with this film. I know I've heard some people online or whatever complain in the usual videos about this is too woke or whatever, or that's woke, this is woke, all that. Listen, woke is just kind of a meaningless word now. Like, everything is called woke. Anything that just happens to cast a person of color in a role is just automatically considered woke now, just because it happens to have a person of color. It's ridiculous. It's become so extreme now. As far as like the movie itself goes, it doesn't really. I'm perfectly fine with colorblind casting. I have no problem if you want to cast like a darker skinned Peter Pan or whatever. But I'll say this: movie's not good. It has nothing to do with the supposed wokeness of it. It's just not good because it's not a good movie. And the problem with this movie, and the biggest problem, is it adds nothing to the whole Peter Pan thing. It's another reboot of Peter Pan to go with 1,000 we've already had. It just adds nothing. There's nothing here left to really do with this character unless you do something really avant-garde or really original with it or artistic. There's just really nothing you can add to this. You got Mila Jovovich's daughter, the chick from Resident Evil, her daughter, who also played the Red Queen, I believe, in Resident Evil Final Chapter, is in this as Wendy. Wendy gets a bigger part here, and I'll say that she does kind of take away from Peter Pan a little bit. Towards like the climax, stuff like that, because they're trying to focus more of the movie on her. Peter Pan himself is all right. The actor's performance is good. It's fine for a child actor. It's fine. It's nothing like write home about or anything. The best version of Peter Pan is probably the one that was made like 2003, I think, the live action one. As far as this one goes, it sucks. I'd give it a 1.5 out of 4. Jude Law as Hook is fine. He's good. Probably the best performance in the movie, but he's just token Hook. That's the problem with this movie. It's just Hook and Peter Pan. That's it. It's the same shit you've seen 1,000 times. They try to add a little new to the story by having like this supposed past about why Hook hates Peter Pan. Like they try to actually go into it a little bit, only for a few seconds, but you don't get any flashbacks or anything. They're just throwing the idea that Hook used to be a child in Neverland that came with Peter Pan. He was Peter Pan's best friend, and then he left because, or he got exiled by Peter Pan because he wanted to be with his mom, and he never found her, and he got abducted by pirates or whatever and befriended him, and that's what made him like go, evil, and he came back wanting revenge against Peter Pan and all that for exiling him. It's like very surface level. You get no flashbacks to it. Like that right there would be a more interesting story than what this movie does with the whole Wendy thing. Because other than that, it's the basic thing. That's barely in the movie. Like that whole backstory or whatever it is. That's like barely in the movie. Pretty much the whole movie is Peter Pan shows up to like bring Wendy and her brothers or whatever to the Neverland. Same Neverland shit we've seen 1,000 times. He brings them there. You get maybe 1 or 2 sword fights with Hook. That's about it. Peter Pan is pretty much killed in one, but gets brought back to life by Tiger Lily, the Indian chick. They do try to be more diverse here by adding like 2 girls into the Lost Boys group. Once again, I have no problem with diversity or spicing things up, especially with this being like the 1 millionth Peter Pan adaptation. But at the same time, it was really pointless change. This one was a pointless change, adding 2 girls into the Lost Boys group, ultimately just because it adds to nothing. Like, the Lost Boys do practically nothing in this film. They're just kind of glossed over. They don't really add anything. And if you hear my dog barking in the background, I'm sorry. He's where I do most of these videos now outside, so if you hear him barking, he's just barking at a squirrel or something. But yeah, the Lost Boys really add like nothing to this movie or anything really. And the movie ends with like Captain Hook just like falling off into the water, and then Wendy and them go back home. And then Peter Pan shows back up, and there's Hook like just randomly in the water, and Peter Pan like reaches his hand out to him like they're gonna try to mend things or whatever, and that's just where the movie ends. So all in all, it really just accomplishes nothing. The chick who plays Tinkerbell is fine. Tinkerbell is pretty pointless. This movie doesn't really do anything. This is worse than the Hook Robin Williams one. At least that one tried to do something original by trying to be a sequel to the Peter Pan story. This one overall is a 1.5 out of 4. It sucks. If you view it as just like a made-for-TV movie or whatever, because it was only released on Disney Plus, just a made-for-streaming movie, then it probably would be like a low 2-star passable movie. But as a movie, like in terms of Disney's like live-action remakes and all that, it sucks. Because it just offers nothing. It's just another soulless like thrown out cash grab. There's just nothing here. So thank you guys for watching. Oh, and before I go, like I said before, the Mila Jovovich's daughter, who played the Red Queen in Resident Evil Final Chapter, she's good here. She's fine. She's a better actor, honestly, than Mila Jovovich, and she could have a career ahead of her. But yeah, all in all, thank you for watching. This film sucked, and I'll see you again.